People who move to Idaho oftentimes end up leaving shortly after they get here. Let's talk about the reasons why people regret the move to Idaho and how you can prevent this from happening to you. Now, when I was a kid, Boise used to be a lot smaller. There was American flags downtown, small communities, and very little traffic lights, even in Meridian, one of our larger suburbs. I never heard of people moving here, and I rarely heard of political disputes. Over the last few years, that has changed a lot. It has grown. There's new people, there's new beliefs, and now when you go downtown, you will see pride flags and rallies. And if you take a second and check out the Boise's mayor's Instagram, you can get a better idea and a few more ideas of the change that have occurred here as of recently. You really just see more liberal activities here than I think you would think when moving to what most people think of as a blood red state like Idaho. Now, why is this one of the many reasons people leave? Well, many people move here for political reasons, and 75% of the people who move here from California are Republican. So when they move to Boise, it can feel like they just moved to a smaller California. When it comes to Boise, where there is abortion rallies, pride rallies, shunning of children in schools for being Republican, and the list can go on. The problem is they weren't informed or fully aware of the suburbs and the areas of Boise that still have those strong conservative roots, and no one told them or communicated well enough that Boise has exactly what they thought. They just needed to look outside of the city of Boise, which me and my team's goal as Boise locals and real estate agents is to make sure you have all of the information you need to make sure regretting your move to Boise is something that does not happen. So give me a call or shoot me a text where I would love to sit down and get to know you and be your guide along the entire process of moving here. And I post videos every week, so if you want to stay up to date on all of the best information, hit subscribe and don't miss out on those weekly updates so you don't regret moving here, which we will continue to help prevent throughout this video. One of those is being prepared for the politics in Boise, similar to what I just talked about at the beginning. But on the other side of this, people move here and choose a suburb like Star or Kuna, and it is too conservative for them. Sometimes that's because what Republican means in California is much different than what it means in the smaller suburbs of Boise. And other times it is people who are liberal and thought they could deal with the beliefs here in Boise. That thought of being able to just deal with things in Boise is a major trend of the reasons people leave. And you will see that throughout these issues that we talk about in this video. Now, let's take a look at Boise's weather. Another reason people leave is there's two big reasons people can't handle with the weather here, and it's not usually the snow or the cold temperatures like most people would probably think. Boise's weather is great. It is one of my favorite parts of living here. We have amazing springs and falls with 80-degree weather and occasional evening thunderstorms. The winters can get long and cold, but really we have mild winters, and the snow only causes a problem a handful of days out of the year. It isn't as big of a deal as people probably think it is. Where the problems come in is during January and through February, and then the summertime. In January, we start getting inversions, which is day or week-long stretches of clouds getting stuck in the valley. And then you combine that with the very short days, and it feels like you are in the dark for weeks at a time. This year we had an inversion for 2 weeks, twice, and it throws people off. It throws your mood off. It is depressing, and when it's dark and gloomy for weeks at a time, it really can be something that people aren't prepared for. So they end up leaving because, again, they were not fully prepared. On the other side of weather is the summers. People don't expect how hot and dry it is here. It can drive people away. They expect Boise winters to be cold and the summers to be mild, but Boise is a desert and we get 100+ degree heat for weeks at a time, and sometimes that can last as long as a month. Now, Preparing for the snow and cold is not as bad as people think. We really only get 4 to 5 days a year where the roads might be a problem. Where roads can become an issue is the year-round traffic that we have. People don't expect the traffic to be as bad as it is here, but Boise has grown so fast that the city can't keep up with the infrastructure. There's a ton of construction creating more traffic than I think some people were wanting when coming here, or even thought that Boise would have, with how small it is relative to other metros, and so again they end up leaving. Now, the next reason is not nearly as bad as the last reason that pushes people away, and it is easily preventable, and that is Boise's economy and jobs being smaller than other places. And the job opportunity here can be lower than people expect, but we have a fast-growing economy with places like Micron investing $15 billion into a new facility. We have Meta, or most people know it as Facebook, investing $800 million into a data center, and a number of other companies that have been moving here because of the political environment, because of the economy. And the simple fix to this is to take a look at the field you currently work in, and then look at all of the major employers, and I'll list those above, and take into account Boise's continued growth, and then just make sure that the current employers here can support your work in the event that you were to lose your current job. Now, that's the easy part. I think the hard part about the job and economies here is determining if the salaries in Boise can sustain the cost of living, which is another a big reason people leave, because the average salary in Boise is only $70,000, which may not seem bad, but over the last 5 years, we have watched the housing jump 50% and over 400% in the last 10 years, while the median salary it has only gone up about $5,000, which is around a 13% increase. The rental market here has that same story, with one bedrooms averaging around $1,500 a month, and then single family homes averaging about $2,500 a month. But take a look for yourself and be prepared by watching this video here, where I go over everything you would need to know when it comes to the cost of living in Boise, so you can prevent it from being a reason that you regret moving to Boise.